Sports fans, welcome to Sports in layman's terms. I'm your boy Willie Soso, and to my right we
I'm
have
I'm your Statcaster CB franchise. What's going on, everybody? How you guys doing tonight?
Stevie. What's good with you, my guy? Everything, man.
Well, I'm a little refreshed. I was away for the last 5 days, kind of like out of
Took
the
you
sports world. You know, couldn't get
extra
updates or
long
nothing. So got back into
vacay,
town.
huh?
I felt a little lost. I didn't know what was going on. So
Well, a lot has been going on. Um, let's start with the obvious. The NBA Finals are now set. We have Miami and Denver as we anticipated, but there was a little fly in the ointment for a minute. Now, last show, I asked the question, could Boston come back? They were down 3-0. Everybody sort of kind of wrote them off, right?
oh yeah, I mean, who
But
wouldn't? Who wouldn't?
yeah, sure. They put up a fight. Got it back to 3-3, and then flamed out, ran out of gas in game
Mhm.
7. So now we are here in the finals. And truth of the matter is, it's a great story for the 8th seed to be playing against the 1 seed, but I don't think anybody's given Miami a chance, a snowball's chance in hell, in fact, to win the NBA Finals. So, Stevie, tell me, do you really believe that Miami has a shot to win the finals?
My first reaction is gonna be no.
No.
No, not really. But you know what? Were they supposed to going back to the beginning of the playoff? Were they supposed to be in Miami? I mean, were they supposed to?
Nope.
Were they supposed to beat Philly?
Nope.
Were they supposed to beat Boston?
Absolutely not. That was the 1, 2, and the 3 seed that they knocked out.
So at some point in time, you guys started believing in the Miami Heat.
So
And I just don't know if the roller coaster of up 3-0, down 3-0,
yeah,
and with Denver being offered, we got the only. I mean, there might be a slim chance. I think that maybe Miami might steal game 1 because they've been
they're in the
playing.
groove.
They've been playing needed games they have to win every single time. In Denver, granted they've been relaxing and resting, but we all know what happens to a team that doesn't move for a while.
Yeah, they could be rusty.
So Miami might have a chance to win game 1, and that could flip a series. You never know.
All right. So here's the thing for me. Well, one, and I've been saying this the whole playoffs. It's not like Miami wasn't in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. For whatever reason, injuries or whatever, they found themselves having to play in, becoming the 8th seed, and then they did what Miami does. Have a hell of a coach. Playoff Jimmy is being playoff Jimmy.
Mm-hmm.
And the supporting cast is stepping up to the plate. Not for nothing, not that he's going to give you a whole bunch of production, but they got Kyle Lowry on their team. That's a NBA champion point guard.
Experienced player. Very experienced player.
So I like you, knee-jerk reaction. Hell no. They have no chance. But I'm rooting for them. I sort of kind of want them. I want them to finish off the Cinderella story.
It is a tough little thing though, because you want the Cinderella story, but you want Denver who's never been there before.
Yeah, I mean, and that's a good story too.
That's
a good story too. I mean, and Joker is a hell of a guy, a hell of a player.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think I just wanted a little bit more from Miami.
And, like one little nugget too is like, if you remember way back in the series against Milwaukee, Tyler Hero had a fracture in his hand.
Right.
And at that time, it was a 4 to 6 week, return. And at that time, they said, well, he's done. And guess where we're at right now?
4 to 6
weeks.
We're
right in between that 4 to 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And if Tyler Hero can come out, maybe in a supporting role, not playing so much, because you don't want to you don't want to inject them right back in.
Right.
And all of a sudden, the team that's been playing the last two and a half series without him changed by a step. That 1/2 step might ruin the whole rhythm.
Yeah.
But maybe you can plug him in certain roles.
Just continue to let Duncan Robinson and Max Strus and Caleb Martin do what they've been doing.
Yeah.
And here's my pathway to victory for not saying I think this is what's going to happen, but if I could see it happening
Mm-hmm.
in fairy tale land, here's a way for Miami to actually go ahead and win the NBA Finals. Do the exact same thing that the Pistons did in '04.
Going to work.
Yeah. You can let Nikola Jokic do whatever he wants to do.
And
He could score 60. He could score 100. Don't care. But what we're going to do is we're going to see to it that Jamal Murray has a subpar finals.
I like it.
And they could do that because one of Miami's calling cards is being a very tough defensive team. Now, you can't guard Nikola Jokic,
No.
but you can guard everybody else.
Mm-mm.
So I say let Joker go and do whatever he's going to do and lock everybody else down. And at least contain Jamal Murray, and I think you got a fighting chance.
I like that. I mean, if I was given a path for Miami to win, I would definitely start with that. Where
Mhm.
you know, let the Joker be the Joker. One other thing about this, I'm thinking too, is that Miami's been there.
This is true.
You know, their experience.
Was it 2 years ago they were in the finals?
They were 2 years. Maybe it was 2019.
Whatever the bubble
Yeah.
was. Was that 2019, 2020?
2020. That was the bubble
2020.
against the Lakers. So Lakers won.
So was that 3 years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My only other thing I might look at too is like, and this, you know, this guy has been quiet.
Mhm.
He's done his job.
Mhm.
And I didn't think he was a good coach in a while, but Eric Spoelstra, this guy's a coach, man.
He's a hell of a coach.
Pat Riley tree guy.
Mhm.
You know, and you look who he's going to get, Mike Malone, the coach at Denver. So if I'm at Miami, I let the Joker be the Joker. Use your experience of being in the finals. This team is built as these guys have been built for a long time. Same way, almost like the Pistons were. They were built to play a certain way.
Right.
And then I think coach is going to come matter in this thing. I think maybe coaching might steal a game or two, and
This
it might
is
go
fair.
Miami's way.
This is fair. There's one more thing that I think is going to be super duper intricate or integral in Miami perhaps pulling this thing off. Bam Adebayo. Mr. Bam Adebayo.
Bam Bigelow.
Now, I did like him back in the day as a kid.
Oh, I thought it was Bam Bigelow.
Mr. Bam Adebayo, if you will, sir, please get your head out your ass and ball.
Let it loose.
Adebayo will be my X factor as far as if or not they could actually pull off this upset. And make no mistake about it, it will be one of the biggest, if not the biggest, upsets in NBA Finals history.
Oh.
At least according to Vegas.
It would be.
Because I think the last I checked, Denver was something like minus 480.
Is this the first time that 8 seeds made it to the finals?
As far as I know, I can't think of any other ones.
I can't think of it off my head.
And
It's
definitely,
gonna be the first play-in team.
well, no, actually, because LA was a play-in team when they won it in the bubble.
Were they?
Yep, they were a play-in team.
Did I know that? Good to know.
It could happen. Now let's get to the rubber meeting the road.
All right. Predictions.
Denver versus Miami. Let's just start here. Who's going to win it all? After all we just said.
I am still gonna go Denver, and one of my thing is because of home field advantage.
Fair.
That I think Joker's playing out of his world, but he's gonna need. No, I'm not flip flopping. I'm going Denver.
You're going Denver.
I think it's Denver's time. Team that's never been there. They've been trying. I think their time is now. I think
Okay.
they've gone through the
Yeah.
years and years,
Yeah.
and slowly growing, and I think this year is their year. I think Miami is a great job they did in the East. Sooner or later, I think there's going to hit a brick wall. So I think maybe this brick wall might have a big old nugget in front of it. No pun intended.
Haha, it was a complete pun intended.
But I think it's going to be a Denver Nuggets
Okay, so
in 6.
in 6. Now, I wouldn't have come up with this pathway to victory for Miami to win if I didn't. Denver's going to win. Denver's going to win.
What's your name? What number? What number you got?
Denver and 6 sounds good. Denver and 6 sounds good. I hate to say it because I really do want Miami to win, but yeah, I sort of kind of got to roll with Denver. Okay, what's next?
We're
As y'all
a little off the wall stuff here, yeah.
as you all know, with all sports going on in America, NFL and football is still king. So of course we got to hit y'all with the latest and the greatest of what's going on in the NFL offseason. Probably one of the more interesting stories is the Las Vegas Raiders have a new owner. Not really a new owner, a minority owner. But that's not really the story. The story is who this particular minority owner is. Calm yourself down.
I'm trying.
Calm,
I'm
calm.
trying.
You good?
I'm trying to let you guys. I'm let you going. Go ahead, say it. Go ahead, say it. Is it Michigan man? I'm sorry. I let that slip. My bad.
Tom fucking Brady. Back in the NFL news again. He is now a minority owner of Las Vegas Raiders. And okay, he retired, finding something to do with his time, new stream of revenue. Not mad at him, right?
Did he file his paperwork? Did he file his paperwork to the NFL? He might say he retired like on Instagram, but I want to know that. Did he file his paperwork to the NFL?
I don't know.
You ever notice like
I don't know. I don't know.
You ever notice like somebody you don't see nobody play for like 2 years, and then 2 years later, what? I'm gonna file my papers now.
America, there's a reason the franchise is talking this way, because right along with becoming the minority owner, of the Las Vegas Raiders, rumors start to surface, and honestly, with a little bit of merit, that Tom Brady may come out of retirement. Why might he come out of retirement? Well, the Raiders decided to sign Jimmy Garoppolo from the San Francisco 49ers and let Derek Carr go. Sounds good. Perhaps an upgrade. Don't know. Aha, one problem.
He has a clause.
He has a clause. Jimmy Garoppolo, that is. There's a clause in his contract that says if he is not able to not physically perform, but
he can't pass
unable to pass a physical, then his contract can be voided completely. And guess who?
Did somebody have surgery? Did somebody have surgery recently?
On his foot. And guess who has not, to date, passed their physical
or filed papers?
Jimmy Garoppolo has not, to date,
filed his papers.
Calm down.
Yeah.
Jimmy Garoppolo has not completed or passed his physical, which is leading some people to rumor that this guy who didn't what?
File his papers.
That person being Tom Brady may actually wind up being the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders at the beginning of the 2023 season. Franchise, do you really think that this is going to happen? Really? Really?
Like with
Really?
like Miami, I say no. But shit, man, fucking Tom Brady. At first, I thought about Michael. There's no way he's coming out of retirement. And of course, I joke around about like who didn't file his paperwork yet and officially retire from NFL. But can you imagine if he comes back as a minority owner and plays quarterback for the Raiders and boots out Jimmy Garoppolo again?
Okay.
Because if you remember, Jimmy Garoppolo
Was a Patriot.
and he was doing really, really well when
Was it the suspension or was it when he? No, it was a suspension, right?
and Garoppolo came in, performed well.
Yeah.
And there was rumor out there that Tom Brady told the Patriot organization move Jimmy Garoppolo out of there.
Yeah.
So what did Kraft do?
He moved him.
Traded Jimmy Garoppolo.
Yeah.
But can you imagine how this stuff would go full circle?
That would be
again?
hilarious.
I mean,
that would be hilarious. I would laugh my ass off, honestly.
And it's like with the Tom Brady in football again. No, I would not be surprised. But am I fucking sick of it? Yeah. Go blue, anyways. But yeah, I'm sick of it.
Okay.
I wish these guys because like listen, when I retire from work, guess what? You're not gonna have any rumors for me.
Right. Done. But when I first saw this story, I laughed and I dismissed it immediately. Then when I really read it, and the part about the clause in Jimmy G's contract.
Yep.
This is what I thought. How stupid can you be? Talking about the Las Vegas Raiders.
Wait, and who's that coach?
Josh McDaniels.
And who did
Patriots?
Who
the Patriots?
And where did Tom Brady?
The Patriots.
Where did he get his most success from?
The Patriots. How stupid could you be, though? Why would, if you have to put clause like this in somebody's contract, you probably should not pick them up. It makes zero sense to me. And I do understand that things were getting a little untenable with Derek Carr, but you picked up Derek Carr, or you let Derek Carr go for what? And if
Jimmy G.
And if somebody who we saw,
they might, and even with right,
he stayed hurt.
There's no way in the world that these little stars line up without something knowing something in the background. Because I'm thinking to myself, as we're speaking right now, I'm like, on. Can you see like not Al Davis, but his son? I can't remember something now. Say, I got an idea. Let's sign Jimmy Garoppolo with a contract clause. After he retires, but doesn't file what?
His papers.
Papers, right? We'll let him sell him a minority owner of the team.
America, I just spoke a little bit in my mind. Excuse me.
And then all of a sudden he doesn't pass the physical, and we are in deep trouble, deep doo-doo. Because I'm looking at my depth chart quarterbacks right now. I got Jimmy Garoppolo. I got Brian Hoyer, who's been in the league since
forever. And guess where he was.
Where he's
backup quarterback at?
Patriots, I believe. New England. And then you drafted Aiden O'Connell. So you're not gonna give him any time.
No.
And at the end of the day, you got some game like Chase Gerber or whatever his name is.
No idea.
So they're setting themselves up pretty well where they can say, listen, we have no idea. We have no idea Tom's coming out of contract, but look at our depth chart.
The worst part about it.
That makes sense.
As ridiculous as it sounds,
it makes sense.
For the Raiders, it makes perfect sense. It makes perfect damn sense. I mean, this is not going to happen.
It's like,
no, this is not going to happen.
It's like, catch me if you can.
No, this is not going to happen. This is not going to happen, America.
It's like, catch me if you can.
But if it did,
you heard it first here.
Don't be surprised.
You heard it first here.
Don't be surprised.
In layman's terms.
Don't be surprised.
Because they won't say it on the radio, but we'll tell you now. You heard it first here.
Oh, God. Excuse me. Anyway, moving on.
We didn't have a chance to talk about this last week.
Yeah, and it's an ongoing thing. Streaming services are taking over. I'm
Yeah.
short now. Streaming services are taking over the world. 9 times out of 10, your favorite is on a streaming service. 9 times out of 10, versus going to the movies nowadays, you watch them on streaming services. Well, guess what? Streaming services have now completely wiggled their way into your sports fandom. Most recently, the NFL and the powers that be there decided they're going to throw Jeff Bezos a bone by flexing higher end football games in the 2023 season to Amazon Prime. Not sure which game it will be or how it's going to look logistically, but there's a good possibility that one matchup that you are waiting to see all season might wind up on the streaming service that you don't have. It's been a lot of blowback. There are a lot of teams that don't like it. And of course, there are a lot of fans that don't like it because they've grown accustomed to watching their sports on Fox, on CBS, on NBC, terrestrial channels. Well, those days are going away. Franchise, what do you think about this?
Well, you guys heard of like Patient Zero?
Patience, the first one.
The one who started it all.
Yeah.
The one that ruined it for everybody else, got everybody sick, and every guy died. Everybody died.
Right.
Always looking for Patient Zero.
Yeah.
So I did my research. I didn't have to search for it because I already know the answers. I was like, I know the answer, but I'm just going to research it anyway. But there's one football team out there who I call Patient Zero that ruined it for everybody.
And that would be?
Who agreed to put their game on Peacock.
Huh. Who's that?
The University of Notre Dame.
Oh.
They were the first ones to play
a few years ago, right?
college football game on the Peacock network.
Okay.
And all that did was open the doors and flood the gates. And if Notre Dame would have been hard nosed and say no,
wait a minute. Hold on.
We don't want to be on streaming service.
Wait, no. But here's the thing. What major network owns Peacock?
NBC.
Who does Notre Dame have their major TV deal with?
NBC.
So that was probably a natural progression.
I mean, it was a money grab for Notre Dame.
Sure.
But but you got to wonder, like, if you're like me and you're like our parents, they're set in their ways.
Yeah.
Okay. I know a lot of Notre Dame fans that, a little generation older than we are, but not too much older. They said, screw that.
Not doing it.
Not going to pay an extra, whatever streaming service to watch my football team.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Peacock because along with the streaming service takeover, it has entered, and you mentioned Notre Dame, but it has gone further into the realm of college because your beloved Michigan Wolverines.
Because Notre Dame always tries to fuck us.
Their first game this season
they can't beat us.
Will be on Peacock. Michigan State, one of their marquee games this year against Washington on Peacock.
No, Michigan State's on.
Michigan State. Yeah,
Michigan State
against Washington on Peacock. And I'm sure there'll be some more.
Like if I was a Michigan State fan, which I'm not, obviously you guys know this, but I would be furious because I'm looking at Michigan and East Carolina on Peacock. Guess what? By the end of the first quarter, I'm not watching it anyways. Yeah. So do I really care?
No,
not really.
But it's the season opener though.
Right, and it is a season opener. It's East Carolina, and I'm not trying to be like walking in the park. Because everybody can just throw Appalachian State in my face, so I know that. But I'm just saying,
I love to throw Appalachian State.
But if I was a diehard Michigan State fan, and you're playing against you have Michigan and Michigan State and Washington, two big-time programs, and you're putting it on Peacock. I think I'd be a little bit more pissed that Michigan State's got some weird things going on because they're playing Penn State at Ford Field.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all.
And that one's gonna. So Michigan State, I don't know.
Well, actually, I do understand it. That's the Black Friday game, right?
Yeah, and I think that if I'm in Michigan State's, their headquarters, I'd be fan base. I'd be pissed off. They got that game on Black Friday, not at home. And it's senior day. It won't be
senior day. They'll make another day.
Yeah, they'll make another day. Make senior day.
But here's my response to all of the fans pissed about streaming services, whether it be the NFL flexing Thursday night games, whether it be the slew of college games that they got, the changes that they're making to the TV schedules, and the TV deals rearranged and whatever. Sports fans, I do love you, but hear me and hear me well. Suck it the fuck up, okay? Here's why. You're going to watch. You're going to bitch. You're going to moan, and then you're going to go and pay your little $5.99 to get Peacock. You're going to pay your little $9.99 to get Amazon Prime, and you're going to watch. And you know who knows this? The NFL knows it. And the NCAA, they know it. This is why they did it. They saw a big check with a bunch of zeros on the table in front of them, and they reached for it. And they reached for it in full well that you all, the fan, are going to reimburse them. So they have absolutely no problem screwing you over. And they will screw you over to your face time in and time again, and you will take it and you will like it. So let's just collectively go pay our monies and continue to watch football, because that's what's going to happen.
And I'm going to say, you guys stand up for yourselves. Go outside, grab your lawn chairs, grab your cooler, grab your radio, start a bonfire, and listen to your favorite football team on the radio and go back to basics.
Good luck.
We don't need to see every great play.
Good luck. Hey, I'm not going to stand in your way.
God, cables cost more than pretty soon all these streaming services. By enough you get 18 streaming services, you're paying more than cable.
You're not wrong. And guess what you're going to do?
I'm going to listen to it on the radio.
Okay.
Or go to a friend's house that has Peacock.
You
got Peacock?
I do. I'll be watching. Okay, let's continue moving. This is something else that we did not really get to touch on last week, but it's a timeless thing to talk about, and that's the passing of Jim Brown last week at the age of 87. God rest his soul. This guy was an icon for so many different reasons.
Great player.
And we appreciate his contributions to football and the world on and off the field. But I get to thinking, and I'm going to ask this question specifically the way that I'm asking it for a reason.
Okay.
Would you consider Jim Brown the greatest football player ever? And I got a follow-up depending on what your answer is to this.
Was he the greatest football player at his time?
Position be damned.
Obviously, that's a no-brainer. Absolutely. Did he change the game from running backs? Absolutely. Did he do stuff then that running backs have it so much easier to do now? Absolutely. Off the top of my head, I don't know how many championships. No, I don't think he's won any.
Just got one. I think that's off the top of my head.
It wasn't with Cleveland, but if he did, it wasn't with Cleveland. But when you start thinking about bulldozing running backs and where to start, where running backs came over and knocked you over like bowling pins, you think Jim Brown.
Check this out, and you're right. You're right. I mean, questionably, he's the greatest running back of all time. But the question is, Was he the greatest football player ever? Not running back, football player. And I asked the question for this reason. Most times when we get to talking about the greatest in football, we mention a bunch of quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
If we mention
There's one other guy that's really close to him that I think.
who, okay, so now that you're picking up what I'm putting down, it's probably too hard to just say the greatest is
Right.
this. But the follow-up question is, who would you say are your top 5 greatest football players of all time? Because for me, I sort of get sick of the notion of quarterbacks are this and quarterbacks are, and when we have this conversation, we're only mentioning quarterbacks. We're only mentioning Marino. We're only mentioning Montana. We're only mentioning Elway, Brady, Manning. I think that I think that this is a question that should be more inclusive when we talk about it.
Right.
So, in no particular order, top 5 NFL players of all time.
Shoot. Trying to think of 5 right now. I can't in any particular order.
I just saw you pull one up on your screen.
I got 3.
Okay.
I got 3.
What are the 3?
Like I said, no particular order. My 3. I don't know if they're my top 5, but they're in my top 5. I got to think of my other 2. But I'm gonna have to go. Obviously, Jim Brown's in that group.
Okay.
Lawrence Taylor.
That's the one.
It is going to be in a group. And one other guy I'm thinking about too I'm thinking like maybe Reggie White.
Reggie White, the Minister of Defense.
You know,
that's not bad. And
he might be in my top. I still got to round out my top 5, so I back to you that next week on my other 2, and maybe I might slip it. I might change it around.
To be determined.
Might not be there, but I thinking about top 5. It's just.
So yeah, that's fair. I can leave it at that. For me, yep, Lawrence Taylor is definitely would be in that top 5. I have absolutely no problem with Jim Brown being in the top 5, but I won't put him in my top 5 for one reason only. Mm-hmm. I just wasn't old enough to see him. I've seen highlights, and I understand the impact that he had. I just didn't get to see him. I'm going to trade, say, a Jim Brown for Barry Sanders. My reason for Barry Sanders, independent of, say, Jim Brown, is the fact that he, for lack of a better word, made something out of nothing consistently.
Mm-hmm.
The other
very difficult question.
Player that the third player that I would put in the top 5, Jerry Rice. My favorite quarterback was Elway, and 1B to that would probably be Montana. But when I really sit and think about it, Jerry Rice made Montana look really, really, really good. The man could catch anything.
Best route runner of all time.
So that would be 3. Reggie White, that was a good one. Yeah, I think my other top 5 would be my other 2 would be to be determined as well, because
I wanted to pick up this piece of paper because I wanted to show you, because before you said it, the name I wrote down here.
Yeah. Yep, Barry Sanders, who for whatever reason, I'm not sure how or why, but that man does not get here in Detroit, where we're streaming from, he definitely gets credit.
Oh, yes.
But I don't know if he gets the credit nationally like he deserves. The guy was amazing.
He was only guy I know can take an 8-yard loss into a 20-yard gain.
For real. The man was amazing.
I mean, he made moves. I'm surprised his legs didn't just fall off.
But America, we'll get back to you on this topic because I think this is going to be an ever evolving
This could be
topic for us to talk about.
this could be a topic we could at least we'll definitely get something next week. We'll put our top 5 together.
Sure,
You know.
sure. All right, let's get on down to the last little bit. Over this long 5-day, well, at least for him, 5-day
Long day.
Memorial Weekend.
It has been long.
Our Tigers, our Detroit Tigers played. They played every day that you were gone. And they pretty much dismantled the White Sox and then pretty much got dismantled by the Rangers.
Well, they won today, so that's good. At least they got one.
Right.
They got one.
But these realities are integral to sports in layman's terms for 2 reasons. Reason number 1, myself and Work in Progress, who isn't with us today.
Where's Whip at today? I miss him.
Whip is always somewhere doing something.
Where's he at? What country is he in today?
Who
He's
knows?
always somewhere
But
doing something.
we had this bet
Man, the meatloaf.
about how many wins the Tigers would get this year. At present, they're after the Memorial Day weekend, they're 2 games under 500. Now, here's a little something that I didn't tell Whip when I made this bet with him.
There you go. Always hold it. Ace in sleeve. Ace in
And this is
ace in the hole.
the solid on the science on this one is sound.
Sorry, America. I hope you like that slurp.
Oh boy, that just went live. I believe that by the end of the season, the Tigers will be 8 games over 500.
At the end of the season?
At the end of the
At
season,
the end of the season.
which means they were at least 15 games over the threshold for me and Whip's bet, which was 71.
And they're at 26 now.
They're 26 now. But check the science.
26, 28, 52 games.
Yeah, here's the science.
54 games.
After 10 games, they were 6 games under. After 20 games, 6 games under. After 30 games, they were 4 games under.
So you're saying there's a pattern.
There is a pattern here. After 40 games, they were 2 games under. They're 2 games under now. After 50 games, they were 2 games under. After 60 games, they very well may be at 500.
So-
80 games. You see how this?
So after 8 games over 500,
Yep.
you're going to be 89 and 73. That's 162. 89 and 73.
89, 73. I think
No,
I
8 games over 8 games over 500. So it'd be 89.
88.
89. Because you said 8 games over 500 at the end of the season.
Well, yeah.
So 8 games above 500.
So let's start.
You have to make 89. You have to make 89 and 73.
81 and 81.
Yep. So 89 and 73 is your final record.
Okay, yeah. Good math there.
And if they got 89 and 73, you know who your Central Division championship.
That would be us. That would be us. That also brings me.
90-win team.
You heard it here first, folks. That also brings us to something else that we discussed last week. Over this long 5-day Memorial holiday weekend that you had,
Yes.
there was a discussion that if the Tigers got to 500 by the end of May, that you
I would purchase Valley Sports.
now.
What I did though,
They're 2 games under.
I did something for the fans here.
I just want to know if you had a heart.
Well, I realized Valley Sports had a 1-week free trial.
Oh, you found a loophole.
So what I did was I bought the 1-week free trial.
Uh-huh.
How does that happen? I buy a 1 week free trial. No, I got the free trial.
Oh no!
Okay.
Here's how you buy it 1 week.
I know how it works.
You're gonna
I got
forget, and then they're gonna charge you.
7 days and they'll charge me.
That's how that works.
So at the beginning of the Texas Rangers series, I was like, oh shit,
Because there were one game.
I might have to like purchase it by the time we do the show.
Right.
Then they lost the first one and
the
like,
second one.
Second one, I'm like, okay.
One today though.
So what I did to keep it interesting for all of us,
You took the
I used a 1 week free trial. So
Okay.
So we got till now until next show
To see if you're gonna keep it.
see if I'm going to keep it.
Okay. Fair enough.
I'm a let it roll. Holiday weekend, jet lag, whatever.
I could take that.
You know,
I'll take that.
You know, and
See, streaming services work. See how that goes?
free week. It's free week.
He's gonna buy it.
It's free week.
He's gonna buy it.
It's a free week.
He's gonna buy it.
And if I'm being honest about it, I really don't like the first day when I watched it today. Because like I sit there and I watch it on TV and I hear the guy in the radio saying, "There's a base to the left. The guy's eating a fucking in the batter's box yet." There's a little delay between the audio and the video, which is like very hard. So if I'm gonna watch it, I'm just gonna turn the audio down and just watch it. You know,
Yeah,
but like if you're trying to watch it and listen to it, by the end of the first inning, second inning, you're gonna be drunk without even having 1 ounce of alcohol. That's how confused you're gonna be. That's how confused you're gonna be.
You're
Because like,
gonna love it. You're gonna.
well,
love it.
and I'll be happy for the Tigers if they're 500. I'll be really pissed at the purchase it and sitting there listening to this lag. Should be drunk every day because like every time I listen to the game,
Well, don't they have a joint where you could wire it up to listen to it on whatever radio station is around?
I don't know if the radio station is linked up to that too, but you know,
I'm sure it is.
The little bit of like research I've done is that Valley Sports knows about the issue, and they've known about the issue for the last 30 days, and it hasn't been announced of like if they're going to fix it.
They'll fix it.
Because you know that because you know they're bankrupt, Diamond, all that stuff. So maybe this is something that says screw it, we're not going to fix it until we get bailed out. I don't know, but we'll know next Wednesday. If I have to add like another $20 bill to my monthly expenses.
And next Wednesday, our Tigers will be above 500.
But yeah,
nonetheless,
but you know, back to the Tigers. Go ahead.
This sort of kind of concludes sports in layman's terms. I'm sure that you've heard something on this program this evening that you thought was completely idiotic. Something completely irresponsible to say.
Like slurp?
Like that.
Like slurp?
Yep. So here's what you do. You can email us at layman's terms sports
at
Gmail, or you can follow us Sports in Layman's Term on Facebook, and make sure that you subscribe to the page Sports in Layman's Term on YouTube.
Subscribe and like it.
Subscribe, like, and share.
We got more stuff coming. It's going to be by football season. It's going to be live here. It's a little bit more live. We got it now. It's going to be something to watch.
Nonetheless, ladies and gents and sports fans, this has been Sports in Layman's Terms. Talk to you guys later.
See you next week.